tree. Imagine you were given the task to explain just 100 pages of thermodynamics to a class of 20 students. Would you be willing to just squeeze all of that information into just 20 slides? Hello, my name is Francisco Enter Gomez. I am a student in the Technological of Monterrey, and I am here to talk about PowerPoint presentations and how they might not be as useful as some people think. For the last few years, PowerPoint, Keynote, or any other type of electronic presentation have been dominating my education, even though I cannot keep my eye focused after like 10 slides. Right now, we are accustomed to being taught valuable information through the use of PowerPoint. But what if such an app was actually more bad than good at its express purpose of teaching students the knowledge they need to be skilled? This might seem unreasonable at first. However, if you keep listening, you might understand what I mean. For starters, slides oversimplify complex information. A slide is usually just a picture and some bullet points, and the information is much more complex and needs a lot of text to be fully absorbed. Instead of World War II was an international war between the Axis powers and the Allies, that a student could get World War II was an international war and not remember any of the fundamental details. Jeff Bezos, the current CEO of Amazon, once said, PowerPoint style presentations somehow give permission to gloss over ideas and find out any sense of relative importance and ignore the interconnectedness of ideas. The next thing to consider is that students tend to think that this is the only material they need to study. If a student is told to study arithmetics for a test and is given a presentation about arithmetics, then the student will most likely be led to believe that the presentation is all he needs to study and won't be bothered to study anything else. No articles or books on the very same subject, even if the teacher recommends them. Also, PowerPoint presentations are not interactive. The students who learn don't have much to do but pay attention to the teacher for 30 minutes. This can make them feel anxious and hyperactive, waiting for something to do instead of spending time reading what they came to class for. Personally, I don't think any problems I have with paying attention to a presentation are just because of PowerPoint. I honestly think it's mostly just me who is responsible for any important information that I have to remember. Because the truth is, I have been able to pay attention to a presentation many different times, even in college. However, I still think that while I have to work on my listening skills, it is important that we all work on education skills and focus on bringing different formats for presentations that give out complex information without being boring, so that every student can learn something during class, instead of just daydreaming about a show that they watched yesterday. PowerPoint presentations are still a very creative way to express information, especially for topics that are okay as short and simple. They can even become a fun video that includes delightful images and captivating music to be effective without losing any attention. The evidence presented doesn't mean we have to stop using them, just that we should use them more carefully so that everyone can understand what they have to learn. Remember, as Albert Einstein once said, any fool can know. The point is to understand. As always, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day.